Hi, this is Brian from Pmbot. Today we're going to look at the model called the 6 thinking hats. This model was put forward by DeBono. Now this is a very useful model, this concept of wearing a different hat for looking at and solving problems. This is typically done in a group but can also be done individually when you're looking at your own problems. I know as a project manager there are often times when people have a different viewpoint to yours, different intention. There may be things that are not quite going as planned. And so sometimes it's useful to actually look at the problem directly with different lenses, or as DeBono explains, different thinking hats. So it's a tool that will help you be more creative in how you unblock your obstacles, unblock these problems. You see, DeBono argues that for someone to be more creative in the way they approach problems, they've got to get a more rounded view of a situation and have to move outside their habitual thinking modes. So he developed his thinking hats technique as a means of encouraging people to be more rounded and creative in the way they approach problem solving. In this approach, you can often do this as a group when you're looking at a joint problem. And if you are doing it as a group, there are 6 thinking hats and you can get people to wear a different hat. They can be actually wearing a hat, or it can be done metaphorically, figuratively. And they will adopt the approach determined by the colour of the hat. We're going to come to what those colours actually are. So what are these 6 thinking hats? What are the characteristics of each one? Well, the first hat we'll look at is the white hat. Now, this is all the person who's wearing this, or if you're metaphorically wearing this to look at a problem, you're looking at all the objective information that's available to you, the facts of the matter. This is quite a objective, scientific way of looking at a problem. What information do we actually have, and what can we infer from that? Very useful to have that sort of mode of analysis. Another hat that we are going to look at then is the red hat. This red hat allows the person or the member of the team to actually approach it from an emotional, intuitive point of view. So that means you can actually indulge in your emotions. You may be mired in this problem. It might be stoking up certain feelings in you. Well, let's use those feelings, let's amplify them, let's play around with different feelings to see if we can unblock this problem. That's the red hat. You can see how that contrasts a little bit with the white hat, being a little much more objective, this one being more subjective. We're going to our third hat now, and this is the black hat. The black hat, well, it sounds like a hat of doom. Well, actually, it's to look at things from the negative points, the worst case scenario. Try to see the weaknesses in any ideas that we have formulated to solve the problem. This is quite a skeptical hat. Very important in a team exercise, though, to have that energy as well around the table. That's our third hat done. We're on to hat number 4. This is the yellow hat. Now, again, we've got a contrasting hat here to the black hat. This is more about a sunshine, positive outlook type hat. This is an optimist. This is enthusiasm. This is trying to see the strengths of an idea, promoting the idea, giving it life and energy. Often this can be what you need to unblock a problem. So we can't discount that energy of a yellow optimist hat. Now we're on to the penultimate hat. Hat number 5 is our green hat. The green hat is green like nature. It's about developing creative solutions. So it's about thinking creatively, maybe looking at the different ideas that have been generated and trying to find the synergies between the ideas and thinking out of the box, even being a bit kooky and being a bit crazy. If you're wearing this hat in a group activity, nobody is going to judge you if you are thinking too crazily. You need that energy also. Now we're on to our final hat, and the hat is the blue hat. Now in a group activity, the blue hat would be the facilitator. It's about bringing order to the chaos of problem solving. And if you're wearing this yourself, it's just that bringing a bit of structure to how you approach this problem. Maybe it's you telling yourself you will consider all the angles, then you will make a decision once you've weighed the pros and the cons of the various options. So it's all about bringing a sense of control to the situation. And so that's the blue hat. Now, in a team activity, this could be the person organising the other members of the team, the agenda, etc. So we've now covered the 6 thinking hats, and DeBono suggests that creative thinking is one of our most basic human skills, and one on which our social and economic progress depends. So it's one that is often neglected. Now, a quick example of how you could use this. So as a project manager, as a project management professional, it is not uncommon that you will be hit with problems, obstacles, things that you had intended could not unfold the way you had envisaged or planned. And so sometimes you might have an obstinate member of the team in another department that won't cooperate with you to unblock a problem. They may actually be exacerbating the problem, maybe by firing off inflammatory emails, etc. So as an individual, what I've done in the past is I've often allowed myself to wear the red hat and get a bit emotive, but knowing that I will then soon put the blue hat on, form a structured approach to this problem-solving opportunity. And then I would look at the pros, the negatives, and so the different hats for the positive and the negative, and then think creatively, and then use our personal skills to interact with the individual to sometimes find joint solutions, to try and see it from their point of view. So not to be too blinkered with the way I approach a problem. I know this has helped me immensely in the past. And so there's a quick example. So this is the Bono's 6 thinking hats, and it has a lot of relevance to us as individuals, but also as group members. So I hope that gives you a little flavour of the 6 thinking hats by Edward DeBono. This is Brian from Pmbot.